You're building a business, a home, a life that gives you freedom and the presence to be with your kids. But here's the real question most homeschooling business owners never actually ask. Is what I'm building actually protected? Because you could build something meaningful and still watch it fall apart. And this is exactly what we see in the book of Nehemiah. I did a video earlier in this series and I want to go back to it. Make sure you catch the vision of what I'm giving you so that you're able to thrive in your business. I want to say something that might hit a little bit deeper today because it just isn't about business. This is about what feels like it carries everything at the same time. So you're trying hard to teach your kids during the day, answer client questions between lessons, figure out your numbers late at night, and still be present with your exhausted self. Does that sound familiar? Okay. I know it does for me. And no one sees this part. No one sees the moment where open your laptop and you hesitate because you're not even sure what you're working on. Being so exhausted. No one sees the transactions that you haven't categorized, the tax questions that have been avoiding, the quiet notices that have snuck up in the mailbox and you put those under the carpet because you don't want your spouse to see them, or the quiet thought of what is it that am I doing wrong that caused me to be here in this position? And here's a part that most people never say out loud, and is you're making money, but you still feel like you don't feel secure. You're building something and it just doesn't feel stable. Okay. Because deep down, you know, if something went wrong right now and you're not sure, your business can absorb it. Okay. And that creates constant pressure because you can't fully rest. When you actually lay down, you can't fully rest. You can't fully be focused with your kids. You're watching them play, but your mind isn't actually there. You're just going through the motion and you can't fully be present because you have to reach out to one more client and you have to do one more invoice and you have to make one more phone call. Okay. So this is a part that this is a part that you're thinking, what am I truly missing? And that feeling, that's exactly what's happening in the book of Nehemiah. The city of Jerusalem existed, but the walls were broken down, which meant no protection, no boundaries, no security. And when Nehemiah heard this, he didn't ignore it. He didn't delay. He didn't say, I'll deal with it later. Okay. He sat with it. Okay. He prayed and he made a plan. Are you sitting down and praying and making a plan that God has already laid out for you? That's God is laying out for your particular business. It doesn't matter if you're a janitor, if you're a social media influencer, if you are into baking cakes or whatever it is, there is a divine purpose and plan for you. We know this based on the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11, that God says, I have a plan and a purpose for you. Okay. Or are you ignoring it and pushing it under the carpet because you're so overwhelmed and don't want to work with it and think about it right now? Okay. So Nehemiah, he prayed. Okay. And he made a plan. And then what he did was he inspected damage and then he organized the people. The people are your people. Okay. Your family, your friends, your core unit that supports you, that your ride and die friends that are there for you. Okay. And they began rebuilding, and while facing pressure, opposition, and distraction at the same time. And here's a part that most people never think about and they actually miss. Nehemiah didn't just rebuild the wall. He restored structure around what mattered. Because without structure, what you build will always feel exposed. So if there's no structure around that business that you're hustling for, if there's no structure around those beautiful kids that God has blessed you with, if there's no structure around the purpose that you're going about getting up every day and slaying around, it will be destroyed. It will be exposed. Okay. Because of lack of structure. If you're a homeschooling business owner and you don't just need to grow, okay, you need a wall of protection. Nehemiah inspected the wall before rebuilding it. So let's be honest, okay? Where are you currently exposed? Do you have unfiled taxes? Do you have a muddled bookkeeping system or lack thereof? Do you have mixed business and personal finances, okay? Or do you have no real understanding of the numbers that you're actually carrying in and seeing in your books? Is somebody just doing your books and you have no clue what it means? Okay. Because the fact of the matter is you can't protect what you refuse to inspect. And number two is Nehemiah didn't rebuild randomly. There was order and there was assignment. Okay. Everyone knew their role. So ask yourself, do you actually understand your situation from a financial position? Do you know what you owe? Do you know how much you're supposed to legally pay or not pay? Okay. Are your systems aligned with the life of a homeschooling mom in business? Okay. Because clarity removes financial anxiety. And number 3 is to rebuild with strategy. Nehemiah rebuilt with intention, even under pressure. You need the same level of strategy. Tax planning before year end, choosing the right business structure, making proactive decisions instead of reactive ones come tax filing season, because strategy is what turns income into profit. Okay. Systemize your protection. This is where most people get broken down. They build, but they don't protect. Okay. Nehemiah's work is built with a tool in one hand and a protection tool in another hand. Okay. For you, that looks like systems that track every single dollar, processes that prevent errors, and safeguards that protect your income from unnecessary loss. Okay. If it's not systemized, it's exposed. If you don't know when it's coming, it's exposed. Okay. And number 5 is to protect what you have built. Even after the wall was rebuilt, the responsibility didn't stop. Protection requires maintenance. A lot of you think you go to work, you made the money, and that's the end of it. No, that's not the end of it. That's just a part of the pipeline. You have to protect what you build. Otherwise, it disappears. It talks about in Proverbs, riches make wings and they fly away. It's the same. It doesn't have to be for a king. It could be also for us as homeschooling moms in business. Okay. So protection requires maintenance, quarterly strategy, ongoing financial review, adjustments as your business grow. Okay. Because stewardship is a continuous thing. It's not a seasonal thing that you do once and just forget about it. Okay. You need systems in place, and the ones that actually work and flow with your unique family dynamics. Okay. So let me say this clearly. You don't have a money problem. You don't have a time problem. You have a structure problem. Okay. Because your foundation is currently weak, but it does not have to stay that way. And here's the truth. Some of you are praying for increase, okay, while you're ignoring the broken down walls all around you that have already been there. But throughout scripture, increase follows stewardship, and stewardship requires structure. So the real question is, if more came to you right now, would you actually be able to hold on to it? Would you actually be able to keep it? Would it actually stay with you in your family, in your generation? Would it be passed down as a legacy to your children? Do they know what they're doing, how to handle? Is there any system in place? Okay. You don't need more. You need to build better. Once you build better, more comes with intention, with structure, what protection, just like Nehemiah did. So if you are ready to stop feeling exposed, okay, and finally start building something that supports both your income and your family. So the income of the idea of income and your presence. And what I want you to do is invite you to do the free training that I have listed below. That's going to expose you to 5 simple steps that's costing you over $10,000 or more per year from your profit, that's costing you to work more. I'm going to show you in that program, in that free training, where you're losing over $10,000 or more just in profit, and why it's dragging you and costing you to work more and be exhausted and not with your children, with your family. Okay. So if this video blesses you, I want you to like and subscribe and share it with another mom friend who needs this encouragement, who needs this level of clarity. Thank you so much for being here today. I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section, because I read every comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.